So Napoleon had finally been beaten in one climatic, violent, bloody thunderclap. And my goodness, what a bloodbath. 48,000 Frenchmen were either killed or wounded, were captured or were missing. That's 2/3 of the Emperor's entire army. Losses for the Allies, including the Prussian army, stood at 24,000, which also included the wounded and the missing. Massed ranks of men being peppered by cannon and musket fire resulted in truly appalling injuries. I found out how these horrific wounds were treated. So what kind of things would they be treating with this box of tricks? Obviously, amputations, I guess, being the main one, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, you'd have what's called a traumatic amputation,
right,
where the limb is actually carried away by a cannonball or a piece of shot or grape shot or something, or chain shot. Gunfire would actually shatter bones. People did set broken bones, and there was plaster of Paris used, but there wasn't the actual setting of the fractures that we would think of today.
Right, okay.
You're trying to save limbs if you can, but because of the problems, the surgeons became very adept at amputation. It was quite common. Then again, you have to worry about infection. They weren't very hot on sepsis at all.
No.
So sort of if you're using an amputation saw, that would be used on 30 or 40 people.
So you're passing infection on,
yes,
and all sorts.
It can be done very quickly.
Okay, how long?
30 seconds.
Really? They were doing them in 30 seconds?
It can be done in 30 seconds.
Wow, okay. Show me what we're going to do.
Well, first of all, what we need to do is use a tourniquet.
Yeah. Stop the bleeding.
Try and cut it off at the artery,
Yeah.
tie it off over the artery. So we'll make an incision. So what we're doing is cutting down through the sinews, through the skin, down as far as the bone. And you come around to the other side. And try and leave a flap of skin underneath so we can fold it up.
Right.
There we are, we've cut through most of the sinew and that. We're just ready to take the bone off now.
Okay.
So if you follow the cut,
Oh, my go.
you can have a go.
Right.
Follow the cut.
Yeah.
You've probably got somebody holding him down anyway,
Yes.
because now it can get a bit painful.
Oh, so now he's not going to stop offering his hazelnuts to the surgeon. So am I going on the bone, am I?
Yeah, just go straight through and straight
Whereabouts?
down.
About there?
Yep, just try and keep it as straight as you can, like
There
you're
you go,
chopping a
just
piece of
trying
wood.
to- There it is, perfect. Okay.
Dig in.
Ready?
Yep,
Okay. Oh, the sound.
I know.
Oh.
But you've got to try and do it as quickly as possible.
Okay, right, 30 seconds I've got, is it?
Well, you probably won't do it in 30.
I think the saw's blunt.
It's been used a few times.
Oh no, that is disgusting. Look at that.
Yep.
We've gone through his bone.
We've got quite a nice clean cut there. We've got a bit of
thank you.
skin we can actually suture up now.
Look at that, yeah, we can.
So
We
we
just
can bring
fold
that
that up and suture that up.
suture it up.
Amputation nowadays, or even then, I mean, it's a brutal process.
It is.
It's not nice. But what was the survival rate then for amputation process?
Well, believe it or not, the main surgeon in the Peninsular Wars and at Waterloo, a chap called Guthrie, did some research afterwards. And if you got to a regimental or a base hospital, your chances of survival from an amputation was between 60 and 80%.
No. Really? 60 to 80%? Wow,
Yeah.
so it worked. It was good.
Yeah, yeah.
In a battle fought between thousands of men on both sides, it is easy to forget the lot of the individual soldier fighting and trying to survive the day. What must it have been like for the ordinary soldier at Waterloo? Recent building work at the battle site has opened a window into their world. During the excavation of plots of land for a car park close to the Lion Mound monument near the hamlet of Mont Saint-Jean, the remains of a soldier who died in the battle have been unearthed. I spoke to the archaeologist in charge of the excavation, Dominic Bosquet, and his team to find out more about this rare find.
We found the almost complete skeleton of a soldier who was killed at the Battle of Waterloo. And we have, with the bones, some objects accompanying the body.
Okay.
We have coins at the place where his pockets was. With the coins, we have one of these flint stones.
Yeah, for the muskets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This kind of flint is typically English because the French ones were yellow.
Right.
And the dimensions
Yeah.
are typical from brown bess muskets.
Okay, so we think that it might be an English soldier?
It doesn't mean automatically that it's an English, because some Allies were using that kind of muskets.
Right, okay. Wow, okay, so what else have you found? There's lots of things here. These coins
So
here.
you have French francs, French coins, and we have German ones.
Okay.
So maybe that's an indication that maybe he was an Allied, like a Dutch Belgian or Hanoverian of Brunswick.
Yeah.
But that's not a definitive proof that it's that he's not English, because I think English soldier has to pay in the restaurant and cabaret and so on in Belgium. They has to pay with that kind of money.
Of course. So he would need that on him anyway.
Yeah,
Whoever he was.
The fact that we found these coins is also the indication that the body was very rapidly covered with earth. Yes, because when the body lived on the battlefield, were in 1 or 2 days completely robbed by peasants from around and so on.
Steal everything.
Yeah.
So what do you think killed him? What did you find that showed that maybe what he might have died of?
So we have here a drawing of the position of the bones and all the objects found around him. And as you can see, we have here a bullet. And I can show you the bullet.
So a musket ball. You
Yeah.
actually found a musket ball between the ribs.
Yeah, that's the ball.
And that was most definitely the cause of death.
Well, yeah, I think that when you got a bullet in your lungs, you died.
This is fascinating. And this is do you know what kind of musket ball this is?
Yeah, that's a French bullet.
Okay.
Because of its dimensions. You know, the weight is 21 grams and the diameter is 16 millimeters. The English bullets weight 26 grams and 19 millimeters diameter.
So the English had larger musket balls.
Yeah.
Right. So this is a French one. Right. So what do you think, Dominic? I mean, this must be very exciting that you found a skeleton from the Battle of Waterloo with all of these things. What's your feelings about it?
When I was on the field, I expect to find hundreds of bodies. So that's, for me, that's a surprise to find just one. And well, what is the emotional part of the discovery is that you see the guy dying on the ground alone.
What do these bones tell us about the type of person that you have found?
C'est un individu gracile, donc le squelette n'est pas très robuste, il n'est pas très grand non plus, 1,61 m, et j'ai estimé l'âge de l'individu entre 20 et 29 ans. Il y a des petites traces d'usure au niveau de la dentition, au niveau des molaires, ici, qui seraient peut-être liées à une activité particulière, comme ouvrir les capsules des...
For the gun.
Oui,
Yeah. Okay.
exactement.
So opening up the gunpowder
Tout à fait.
to put into the gun. Okay. So he was probably using a musket.
Oui, c'est ça, exactement.
Okay. Now, did he have other problems as well? He had something wrong with his spine.
Oui. Son sacrum et j'ai l'arc neural qui n'est pas fermé. Donc si je prends la dernière vertèbre, voilà. J'ai ici un arc fermé et ici tout le reste, l'arc est ouvert. Et ça s'appelle une spina bifida.
And so this would have caused problems with him. He wouldn't be able to ride a horse. He would be fighting on the ground.
Ça pourrait poser des problèmes. C'est un soldat qui, à notre époque, n'aurait jamais qui aurait été réformé pour l'armée, parce qu'une spina bifida peut occasionner différents problèmes, des paralysies partielles. Il pouvait être incontinent ou légèrement incontinent.
And what about, in your opinion, Geneviève, What do you think about this? How do you feel about him?
C'est quelqu'un qui a dû se déplacer longtemps avec des problèmes. La courbure de la colonne vertébrale indique qu'il était légèrement voûté. Ça peut être lié à la spina bifida. Il a de l'arthrose au pied, il est jeune, donc à mon avis, il a dû aller au-delà de ses limites avec probablement un chargement très lourd. Donc probablement quelqu'un qui a fort souffert.
Waterloo ended the long Napoleonic Wars. Within 6 years, the emperor was dead. The hungry despot had given his name to an entire era, an era that had plenty of opportunity for new weapons and tactics to be introduced on the battlefield. Literally hundreds and thousands of men had been killed by musket, shot by cannon fire, and cut to pieces by cavalry sabres. The many thousands of men that returned home to Britain to try and eke out a living, the maimed veterans, they were testimony to their power.